Alright, how's everyone going? Welcome to today's video where I show you how to build an elevator. But first I'm going to show you how to, how it looks in the real world. Let me turn that down. So essentially the way this thing works is like a, just a normal flying machine, except it's made out of pure redstone. So it has a cool factor that is higher than a normal flying machine. But of course it takes a lot more redstone and a lot more balls to build. Yeah, you feel like Batman when using it, going down into his secret bat cave or something. And it goes down slower than it goes up, because in down you'll take fall damage if you go up as fast as it goes when you're going up. Yeah, this is basically what it looks like, and you can basically encase the entire thing in glass like this, except for this. The slime and stuff needs to be terracotta or something that doesn't get moved. But yeah, now we're going to show you in another situation what this door looks like. Elevator, I mean. So this is the second place I use this elevator. It's in one of my redstone bases. And in here, it's right here. You just have the little up, and we go up. Nice and secluded. Till we get to the top. It's very hidden, but this is how you go down here. Glad that didn't work. Glad that also didn't work. You place the button there, and you go back down. And once it gets back down, I'll show you the calling function of this elevator. So when it's not moving, you're allowed to call this elevator to where you are, and it will come to you. Very convenient, and it works from both down and up. Here's the footprint of the elevator again. So yeah, that's the elevator. See you in the tutorial. Well, it is what it is, but the audio didn't record right, so the rest of this video is going to be voiced over. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to record for an hour again to build another elevator. So this is the main part of this elevator. It's really just a segment. You have to build this over and over in a zigzag pattern, one on the left and one on the right, and one on the left and one on the right. This is how each segment should perform. You should click the button, the thing should come out, and it should push a block up one space, and then return to how it was before. Now I'm going to build a second layer with you. This one is the zag of the zigzag. So you build blocks like this. And you put two pistons facing towards both of those with one torch to power them both. Then these observers go here in order to, like that. Place a target block in front of the torch, two repeaters on one tick right there. Two repeaters like that, that one on two, these on four. And then redstone dust in the rest of this area. And a block here, that's going to be our input block. And we have the piston with a cauldron with water in it. And then the comparator to read what's inside that cauldron. Then to test it, you have to place an immovable objects on top. And it should perform just like the first one. If you need any more help on that, just rewatch me building it, because I'll just be speeding through the rest of this. All right, I forgot to mention something in the video. So if you're going to create an elevator with a floor like this, with like where the elevator is not flush to the ground, then you have to stop when with a piston when you get on this side. When you get to this side. But if you're going to have a flush elevator like this, then stop like this. Stop when you get to the right side of, stop with a piston on the top on the right side. As you can see, I stopped on the left side, so I'm going to be building the not flush version first. I will have a right version with the flush later. But place blast furnaces all the way up to the top floor where you're at. That block I just placed will need to be a blast furnace if you're building it to the left. I just forgot. Then place 2 glass and flush it out those glass furnaces like I just did. Now we're going to be checking where the top is. So go to your uppermost observer and place a block and then activate it. And that's above that block is going to be where your floor level is. So that's going to be the floor level of this elevator. And then you can place your 2 bottom buttons right there. Now let's come around back where you're just going to copy what I do except for this slab. This slab is not correct, but we'll place it one to the left instead. Now we're going to put redstone dust on top of it all, and except that repeater is a 3-tick repeater. And then right there goes some more redstone dust. This is a pattern, so you're just going to have to, there's 2 layers. There's that first layer, and then there's this layer. But in the second layer, you're going to place a target block with another block, and then another slab, and then a block in front of that one. That's the end of the second layer. This repeater's on 3, and then 2 more redstone dust. And then you're just going to have to copy what we did earlier all the way up to the top of your elevator. You just got to make sure there's repeaters facing into all the input blocks on the left and the right. Once any of these layers are done, you can test it anytime by placing a button on the bottom and just pressing it. It should not be broken. That's what you're looking for. On the other side is nothing to be broken. I'm setting up a little demonstration here to show you what it should look like. It should look just like that. What I did here was set up a little test, but it didn't work. So what I had to do was replace both of these blocks with immovables, like I said earlier. Here we're going to do a little bit of the bottom input redstone. We're going to place a little V shape down like this with some redstone on the top. Next, we're going to start the down circuit. What you're going to do is just copy what I do here, where we face a repeater into all the inputs again, but this time from the back on both sides. Next on the docket, we place little lines off of each of these, going all the way to 1 block in front of those target blocks. We just follow what I'm doing right here. Now we're going to place redstone on top of them. All the way up. Next, we're going to place a block up attached to those repeaters next to them all with redstone on top of each. Then we're going to place one block to the left on each of those redstones. Even that bottom one I just broke. Then we're going to place redstone repeaters on 4 ticks on top, facing into a block with another block next to it with redstone dust, and then a repeater, that redstone dust facing into a block with a repeater underneath, also on 4 ticks, and that is going into the redstone, and it just goes on a loop all the way down. So we're just going to copy what I'm doing here. Just copy this pattern all the way down. Make sure it's connected to all of the lines. It wasn't here, that's what I'm doing. Fixing it. And now we're going to replace all of these iron with slabs so that we can actually give connection to the wire. I missed a redstone down there, I'll fix that later. But now as long as you place a thing on the top there, you can test it. But I still had my platform there, so it broke. Make sure you do not have a platform when you're testing. It's not very smart. I'll just show you here a little bit how you fix it. Basically, you just rip out all of the blocks and you make sure they're, how they're supposed to be. There I noticed that the redstone was missing. Next, we're going back down to the input. We're going to place a few blocks off of this input, one with redstone on it and the other with a repeater. Definitely on 1 tick. And then we have a little L shape like that with redstone on it. And we have 2 repeaters facing off of these blocks. And then there's a sticky piston right here with a block on it. We're going to want to have that block like that. It's like that in the down position, but not like that when the elevator is up. But right now it's down because that's how I have it set up. On the other side of the block, we're going to have 2 repeaters off of both of this and an observer facing from, not there, from that repeater. Nope, still not there. From here, this repeater. A block there with some redstone on it. A block. Next, we're going to go to the input and place an observer underneath it in this direction. With a repeater like that and redstone on all of those blocks I just placed. Then we're going to place some blocks above that to stop them from connecting. As you can see, that works good. But now we need to fix that quasi connectivity, so we have to replace the block above it with a slab and update the piston and replace the iron block to its original position. Then we're going to press the button, it's going to work like normal, and there's still going to be a problem. That piston isn't pushing it down, so now we're going to place some more blocks right here with redstone on it and a 4-tick repeater. Oh, 1 sec. Yeah, a 4-tick repeater right there. Now we're going to test it, see that it retracts the block, and that it all still works. As you can see, what that piston does is retracts the block away and prevents the elevator from going up again when the platform should be at the top. Now we're going to reset that block, and 1 sec, I have to figure out how this works. Then place a piston there with an observer facing into that redstone. All right, that should be it. Now when, oh, do not put a button there. Do not put a button there, it'll break everything. I'll just fix this real quick. Next, we're going back underneath the platform and we're going to place a piston here with a block on top and then a piece of redstone dust on this block I just placed with a block above it to stop them from connecting. Now we're going to place a block in front of that piston and we're going to place in front of the observer and then we're going to place a piston there. Now we're going to have to fix this. All of these blocks in these corners have to be terracotta or a unmovable block for slime, that is. Just replace all the blocks you had before with terracotta. You should be in business. Then place the redstone above that. Now we're going to place honey all the way up to that level right there. Next, on that, I built another slime block up, place a observer, and then break that honey right there and place a block. Next, place another observer in front of that, and then another observer in front of that, then one facing up, and then one facing backwards. Then we're going to place a 3-tick repeater, and then a block on top like that. Right here goes a slab. Next, we place another slab and a block in the center, then one target block on the left. Put some redstone over it all. Now we can put that target block right there and one on the left. Then a normal block right here and a comparator facing to the right in here. Then we can place a block on top of the comparator, a target block, and a block on the other side with a repeater and 1 tick. Entire block there with a 3-tick repeater on this block. And then an observer facing into that. This is going to be our input. It has to be a 1-tick input into the 3-tick repeater. Nothing should happen right now. If so, you built that part right. Next, we're going to place a block there and a block there. You can place that block there, but it doesn't have to be there. Then a block in between all those, and another block on top of that repeater. Here I remove this and place a furnace there and then remove all this. I didn't even put this in this video, but it's all unnecessary either way. You guys don't have this built right now. Now this is where you guys are at. This is how you guys are. So now we're gonna, you guys probably don't even have that repeater there. So now we're gonna place a piston like that. We'll push that block over like this. We're going to place a repeater there. Going to remove that repeater and then place the block on top of it. And that should be that part. Nothing should happen yet if you press the lever, but if that was there, then yes, something would happen. Now we place a doohickey off of this repeater, like this. Two blocks like that, 3. then a piston facing down off of that block with a 1-tick repeater and 2 redstone. Now we're going to place a piston off of this block like this. This block will get moved back and forth whether or not the elevator is in the up or down position. We're going to place honey all the way down. And just like that, we're going to have an observer on it. Now we have to move this observer up 1. Back up at the top now, we're going to place an observer with a piece of redstone on it. And 2 blocks like that, with a redstone dust like that. Next, we place a piston, sticky piston like this, with a observer facing into this target block. It'll get pushed out and it'll activate that redstone, retracting that block. Next, we're going to place an observer right next to this block of iron, and then another one, and then a piston, and an observer. Then we're going to have a hopper with another observer facing out of that hopper into the piston. Just follow what I do here. Just make sure this block is actually over here. That'll be important. Likewise, make sure that block is right there. And that block with that piston is right there. Okay. Now I try it, but it's gonna break. So don't try it yet. The first fix I have to show you is this block needs to be 1 further down. Just like that. And the second fix is right here. This piece of redstone needs to be replaced with an unmovable block like terracotta or a furnace or something like that. But any unmovable block by slime should work. Once that's fixed, you should be able to test the machine, and it should go in one direction just like that. And then it should go in the other direction if you click it again. Now it should be in perfectly working order, and we can place the platform in. Now's the hard part where we have to put the top buttons in. Now here's a good time to say, you can wait for later for when I finish the flush version. Right now, I'm just doing the not flush version because it's simpler. But later in this tutorial, there will be a different design for the top here. But just follow what I'm doing here if you want the not flush version with the floor anyway. All right, that should be the entire thing. Now you have a working, not flush elevator. Proceed to the next thing if you want the flush version. Oh, okay. I forgot. Okay, yeah, it was the block. There's a block right there that was in the wrong alignment. I must have broke that earlier. If the thing is down, and make sure that block is in the position where it will get lit up by that repeater right there. It shouldn't break like that again. That was my fault earlier. Now we're back on the inside. I haven't changed anything from the design from the last clip, but now all you have to do is copy what I'm doing block by block, and you should get a working flush elevator. If you want it to be exactly how it was, then make sure when you start this transformation that it was in the up position. All right, that should be the full thing. So now we just gotta flush it out by moving the entire floor assembly up one block and removing the buttons. Now we're gonna place a floor. And have in mind the way it works is you need to hide a button somewhere for this flush one. You just hook up a button that generates a one tick pulse and pipe it into that repeater, and the elevator should bring you down. Or call it up. Here I am putting that one tick pulse on it. And it's going down, so I'll place the carriage on the lower level. Now it should go up. That is the elevator done, both ways, flush and not flush. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial, and see you in the next video.